TaiRox Software provides dozens of tools for streamlining and automating Sage 300 collections, check processing, data management, and business procedures. This video looks at a few important tools for Sage 300. We'll look at TaiRox Collections and TaiRox CRM and Collections invoicing and collections automation, specifically how these modules let you generate phone call tasks and send overdue payment reminders, payment due alerts, and invoices to customers, either interactively using the overdue payment reminders, payment due alerts, and send invoices screens, or in the background using Windows scheduled tasks. You create scheduled tasks with the Scheduler program. We'll see how TaiRox SOX Check Approval helps you manage vendor payments by providing 4 different check approval workflows and up to 3 check approval levels to streamline Sage 300 payment approval and check printing processes. Many standalone TaiRox modules can also be run interactively or as Windows scheduled tasks. For example, GL Consolidations performs hundreds of consolidation operations in a single step, eliminating tedious export and import steps. Download Rates copies exchange rates from Internet providers to multiple Sage 300 databases. Fast Data Integrity performs Sage 300 integrity checking operations in a fraction of the time taken by the standard Sage utilities. Fast Database Management manages Sage 300 databases using TaiRox Fast Libraries, allowing you to backup, restore, and transfer databases interactively or as scheduled tasks. Okay, we're ready to take a closer look at TaiRox's Sage 300 automation. TaiRox Collections and TaiRox CRM and Collections provide 3 payment management programs that you can run interactively or automatically. Send Invoices, a powerful and flexible replacement for Sage 300 programs that email AR invoices and OE invoices to customers. Payment Due Alerts, which sends payment reminder emails to company contacts before their invoices are due. Payment Due emails list all unpaid but not overdue customer invoices in each email. And Overdue Payment Reminders, which emails overdue payment reminder notices to customers or generates tasks that appear on users' dashboards for calling customers concerning overdue invoices. The program groups invoices by aging period and lets you choose whether to send emails or generate call tasks. The steps for creating Windows scheduled tasks for sending invoices, payment due alerts, and overdue payment reminders, and to create call tasks are as follows. First, enter default program settings using the overdue payment reminder setup, payment due alert setup, and send invoices setup programs. The Settings tab for the setup programs include default settings for using the programs interactively or when launched by Windows scheduled tasks. The Scheduling tabs provide the email and task assignment options that are in effect when running the programs as scheduled tasks. 2. Run the CRM and Collections Scheduler program and enter Sage 300 login settings and email notification information. Then, save the XML parameter file for running the scheduled task. Use the Create Scheduled Task button to create a basic scheduled task. And use the Start Task Scheduler button to open the Windows Task Scheduler and change security options to run the task. The CRM Collections Scheduler program creates a basic Windows scheduled task that points to the current XML path and name. You can edit the task to set the schedule and edit login credentials, as you'll see later in this video. Let's move on to see SOX Check Approval's payment approval workflow from an approver's perspective. First of all, a Sage 300 user submits a payment batch for approval. They cannot print or post the batch until it's approved. When a batch is submitted, SOX Check Approval sends the Level 1 check approvers an email stating that checks are ready for Level 1 approval. You can see here that the status of the batch changes to Check Creation in Process, and there's an In Progress button that can show users which payments have been rejected and which are still pending approval. If we log into the Check Approval console as Fred Winkler, a first approver, you can see that the batch we've just submitted is sitting in his console. As first approver, Fred might do something like reject one of the payments and approve the rest. If you reject a payment, you are required to put in a comment. Fred can then move the approval process forward by saving his edits and then clicking the Approve button to complete the approval process for this batch. You'll see that the batch has disappeared from Fred's queue, and if I look in Sage, I can see that the first approver has rejected a check and has approved all others. If we log in as a second approver, Carla, you can see that she now has the batch and can approve or reject checks. Again, we can pick one of the items to reject and then move the process forward, which of course now means to complete approvals. If we go back into Sage, you can see that the batch is now open and you can print and post it. You can click the Approved button to see the Not Approved payment entries and the approved entries. I mentioned earlier that GL consolidations, download rates, fast data integrity, and fast database management can run interactively or as scheduled tasks. Let's take download rates as an example to see how you create a scheduled task. The new task will copy exchange rates daily from an internet rate provider to multiple Sage 300 databases. The steps for creating a scheduled task for each program are the same. You fill in the information necessary to run the task interactively, you save the settings in an XML file, run the program to check that the settings work, click Create Scheduled Task to generate a basic task, and then start the task scheduler to edit the schedule and provide task login credentials. Let's see how this works for download rates. On the Settings tab, you enter a location for the XML settings file, provide a name for the task, and enter the login information for your Sage 300 company. You also select the supported rate provider from whom you download exchange rates. For some providers, options such as date ranges, a rates choice, and a credentials tab will also appear. On the Rates tab, you enter the from and to rates that you require from the provider, along with the Sage 300 rate types they correspond to. You can also add a rate adjustment percent to more accurately reflect the rate actually used in a transaction. The program also provides settings for new rates tables created by the download process, lets you propagate rates to all company databases that share the system database, and includes retry settings for the download procedure. The Currency Code Mapping tab lets you remap currency codes which may be necessary if countries change their codes. And the Email Notification tab lets you set up notifications so you receive an email when the download task is complete. You can now click the Save button on the Settings tab to save the settings and click the Download button to test the download task. To create the scheduled task, you start by clicking the Create Scheduled Task button, acknowledging the message that appears, and then start the task scheduler. When the task scheduler appears, you navigate to the newly created task for download rates, set the program to run whether or not the user is logged in, check the box to run with highest privileges, specify the task schedule, and then enter the login credentials for the task. So what else can you do to automate Sage 300? Well, TaiRox Productivity Tools provides dozens of Sage 300 product enhancements and tools to streamline many Sage 300 processes. For example, Productivity Tools Extended Order Entry calculates the expected ship date and deliver by date from the order date. displays customer optional fields on the order entry screen, warns you about duplicate PO numbers, lets you edit kit details on an order, streamlines picking slip printing by storing print defaults to bypass print dialog boxes, prints quotes, order confirmations, picking slips, invoices, and emails packing slips directly from the order entry screen, displays order prepayments entered in order entry or accounts receivable, flexibly creates purchase orders from sales orders and quotes, lets you ship orders by picking sequence order, item number order, or by location, creates new orders from past orders, displays item quantities available at all inventory locations, including locations in other companies, while entering an order, lets you set a default BOM or kit number for entry, displays all items on back order for the current customer, and lets you make multifaceted changes to an order, affecting multiple detail lines and order quantities. You can change kit and BOM numbers, expected ship dates, item prices, addresses, and deliver by dates, commit and uncommit quantities, substitute one item for another, change salesperson code, zero quantities that are not in stock, and change item location. And if that's not enough, Productivity Tools also performs many operations for streamlining business procedures, such as copying GL accounts, vendors, customers, and inventory items between Sage 300 company databases, updating salesperson codes for multiple customers in one step, creating price list spreadsheets for single customers that incorporate all pricing factors, including contract pricing, so that prices match order entry defaults, removing multiple items from multiple price lists in a single operation, updating, deleting, and completing multiple sales orders and POs using flexible selection criteria, setting up new users based on the permissions and settings of existing users, or removing user settings from one or more users, managing the setup and copying operations needed to support a multi-company general ledger, and providing status information for all core Sage 300 modules in a single window, letting you see unposted batches and untransferred subledger transactions from all Sage 300 applications. For more information on TaiRox Collections, TaiRox CRM and Collections, and TaiRox Productivity Tools for Sage 300, please visit the TaiRox website at www.tairox.com or email us at info@tairox.com.